Hey, good looking baby Creed.
Don't call me that.
Don't call you that. Don't call you what?
You just call me Baby Creed. So don't call me that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's all love.
I know it's cool.
Come
You
on,
definitely know it's cool.
Now, who you talking to, man? You talking real tough, you feel me?
Better talk to your little pretty boy boyfriend, man. You get a VIP pass next to your pop talking to me like that. Get him up. Let him get up. Let him get up. Let him get up.
So, I was scrolling TikTok, consuming my day's worth of brain rot, as one must do, and I stumbled upon the fabled Creed edit. And man, was this edit straight fire. Watching that edit had me pumped. It had me punching the air thinking I can take on the world, and then TikTok muted it. It was too legendary for the app, I swear. The main thing about that video is that it made me remember how cool the Creed trilogy was. I loved all three of these movies, and they just get better as they go on, so this had me thinking, should I just binge them all again? And so I did. And I want to talk about them all too, but before we get to the peak of this trilogy, I think we should start off with the basis. We should see the origin of Adonis Creed and how he became a certified legend. Now, Adonis Creed had a rough childhood. He was in juvie fighting kids, and he was basically known for fighting all the time. He carried his mentality into adulthood, and he even started hustling people with his talent, so to say. He did the majority of his hustling in Mexico, as you can tell with the yellowish tint. Why were we so addicted to making Mexico yellow back in the early 2000s and 2010s? Like, movie directors saw Mexico back in the day and went, nah, you ain't allowed to have color. Be gone. But anyway, he clocked this dude like nothing and went on with his business. He goes to his boxing gym in LA, and he tries to tell his coach, hey man, I'm making a killing. You should join me in my hustle, after showing a bag of Mexican pesos. Like, brother, you do know the exchange rates of pesos, right? You ain't making that much, little bro. Calm down. His coach says no and tells him to get out of his face. So to prove himself, Creed steps up and bets his Mustang that no one can land a headshot on him. And man, this can either make you look like a badass or a complete fool, but we'll have to see. One guy immediately says, alright, let's run it. Now let's check his stats real quick. Interesting. He's the 6th ranked light heavyweight in the world. Now keep in mind, I don't know much about boxing outside the movie, so please don't kill me if I say something stupid. Now anyway, his stats look pretty impressive from what I can see, but it might be doable for Adonis if he's that good. And check this, Adonis is so cocky that he starts fighting without headgear on. Now I don't care how confident you are, but fighting with no headgear seems like a one-way ticket to CTE land, but whatever man, let's see what you got. So the fight starts and, oh wait, I'm sorry, the fight's already over. The man is already on the ground and Adonis is screaming for another opponent. Like, alright man, at least you have the skills to back up that mouth of yours. But then this guy shows up and like, nah, put me in the ring. And let's check this guy's stats. Oof. Okay, this guy's stats look insane. 18 wins by knockout and 2nd pound for pound boxer in the world. Yeah, buddy, you better put that headgear on with this guy. This guy might land one on you. So the fight starts and they're dancing around each other. And let me just pause here. Why the hell is there a Japanese imperial flag in the background? This is so random. Like, you have the normal flag of every other country, and then you have the equivalent of the Nazi flag for Asia for Japan. Like, what were they thinking with that? But sorry, back to the fight. So Adonis is looking kind of clean, dodging and weaving. But of course that cockiness got to his head because at some point he gets his ass knocked out flat on the ground. I mean, he is the 2nd best pound for pound boxer in the world. He clearly is that for a reason. After that mess, he goes back to his office job. This was his attempt to kind of clean up his life, thanks to the help of his mother. Well, actually, she's not his biological mother, because his dad, Apollo Creed, yeah, that guy from the Rocky series, he apparently had an affair and had a secret child that she didn't find out about till later. He died pretty early after the child was born, so that is why Adonis ended up in a foster care system, and he knows basically nothing about his father. She was very kind though, and decided to take Adonis in anyway, despite knowing that he's the child of an affair. But anyway, Adonis decides that having an office job is lame, so he decides to quit his job, and right when he was getting a promotion too. Like, nah man, what are you doing? You gotta have been making bank and still doing your side hustle. They didn't have to be mutually exclusive. So he quits, and like a student telling their parents that they're about to major in art, he tells his mom that he wants to pursue boxing full time and that he's moving out. She obviously doesn't approve since she was trying to get him out of that lifestyle, so she was like, whatever, and he leaves. So then my man moves out and flies halfway across the country to the city of brotherly love, Philly. Adonis gets a place and then he goes to meet the legend himself. That's right, the one and only, the Italian stallion, Rocky Balboa. If you haven't seen the Rocky series, I would highly suggest it. It's phenomenal. But if you haven't though, I'll explain why Adonis is going to see Rocky. So Rocky and his dad Apollo Creed had a nice history together, An enemies to lovers type thing. Wait, no, not in that way, but as brothers for life. So Apollo, unlike Rocky, died in the ring in the third film, and Rocky feels guilty about not stopping the fight, although Apollo told him not to stop the fight no matter what. After the events of that movie, in 4, Rocky retired and opened an Italian restaurant, which I guess that makes sense for the Italian stallion, so his boxing glory days are long behind him. Adonis, however, knows about Rocky's history and wants him to train him to become a better boxer. Rocky's all like, nah man, I don't do that anymore. I moved on. Adonis keeps telling Rocky about his career and his father, and Rocky's like, how do you know all this? And Adonis is like, take a wild guess. So Rocky's like, cool. Still no though, sorry pal. And they go off their separate ways. So he goes back to his crib and he tries to go to bed, but his downstairs neighbor is bumping the music too loud. So he goes downstairs to tell them to shut it off. When the door opens, a beautiful black queen appears. Oh wait, am I experiencing some deja vu? I feel like I've talked about this before. But anyway, he's like, hey, can you turn it down? I have to train and stuff, if you know what I mean. And she's like, cool. And then immediately blasts the music after. And you know what? Based. Actually not based. What's her deal, dude? He asked nicely, sheesh. But I guess there's nothing he can really do about that. Anyway. Next morning, he goes back to Rocky's restaurant and basically just begs him to give him something. Like, he doesn't have to go all out and train him, but can he at least get some drills or something? Rocky was like, okay, fine, kid, whatever. And he gives him some drills to practice. It ain't much, but I would consider that a dub for the day. He later goes back to his apartment and asks the fine lady from downstairs out to eat, and she agrees. They go to a Philly cheesesteak place, and man, I love a Philly cheesesteak. They're so good. I want one right now just thinking about it. But anyway, they get to talking, and she reveals that she is losing her hearing and one day will go deaf. And as much as I feel sorry for her after hearing this, I just have to say, girl, maybe you would keep your hearing if you weren't blasting your music in your apartment full volume every night. And also, I need to mention that she is a musician and a music producer to give more context as to why she's blasting music every night. But still, that's no excuse to destroy your hearing. I love listening to music too, but I also want to be able to hear by the time I'm 60. So after their little dinner date, I don't know what happened with Rocky, I guess. He was just a little grumpy or something. But he finally decides to train Adonis. They do the classic chicken chase, which I have some confidence in doing. I can't lie. I in my life had to chase both a cat and a hamster, so if I can do both of those, I'm sure that I can do a chicken. Then we got the classic training montage scenes doing things like jump rope, running, punching, speed bag, push-ups, pull-ups on public property. I swear they're flexing when they do that. There's no reason to be this extra. So they train some more in Rocky's gym with his boys, and one of his coach friends is all like, hey man, you should train my guy. His name is Leo, by the way. Thought I mentioned that. And he's like, nah, I'm good, and keeps helping Adonis. But then the trainer challenges Adonis to fight his fighter, thinking it would be a good sparring match for him, and Rocky accepts the deal. So after some more training, of course, we get to the match, and the trainer that challenged Adonis is all like, wait a minute, this guy's a Creed. No wonder why Rocky was blowing off my fighter. So he approaches Rocky and is all like, dude, your fighter is a Creed. We could be making bank from this match. But Adonis wants to make a name for himself and not automatically get clout from being a Creed, which I have mad respect for. There's so many people that ride the coattails of their parents' success and act like they worked for it. But for Adonis to actually want to work for it, despite actually having the name to help him, is pretty badass, honestly. So the fight begins. Oh wait.
You cut him off and ready to go fight. Are they too tight?
I'm freaking out, okay? I'm freaking out right now. I gotta take a shit. Somebody gonna wipe my ass for me?
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
So now the fight begins and they start dancing around each other, trading blows, nothing crazy. And then Leo hits him with a nice hook to the eye. He almost gets trapped in the corner, but thankfully he's able to get out of there. Adonis gets back in there with some nice gut punches and some jabs, and that is what I like to see. And also take a shot at every time Adonis says, let's go boy, to Leo. I swear you'll be passed out on the floor by the end of this fight. Leo gets another hit off Adonis again, right to the jaw, and he starts pummeling him into my man's here. Like Adonis is taking the hits, but he ain't dealing any of them. Like, what are you doing, dude? So the round ends, and it's a rough start for Adonis. So round 2 starts, and Adonis pulls this triple weave on Leo, and I have to admit, that was clean as hell. This round is off to a much better start. He continues to lay into him, and after that, he hits him with the 1-2, and that dude is down and out. So this marks the first career win for my boy Adonis, thus starting his legendary journey in this franchise. Now before we continue, we must go to the UK. Ah yes, the UK. God save the king. the land known for its tea, posh accents, and of course, passing a terrible law that requires citizens to use an ID just to access basic adult content. Now, my country may be a mess right now, but at least I can look at adult content without an ID. Well, yeah, better not jinx it though. Sorry for the side tangent. Now, you're probably wondering, why are we in the UK? Well, this leads us to our protagonist, main opponent. His name is Ricky Collin, or his nickname, Pretty Ricky.
Man, you corny!
Now, Ricky Collin was supposed to fight that dude that knocked Adonis on his ass at the beginning, but during the press conference, Ricky broke his jaw, which is kind of extreme, and of course, the fight got cancelled, and he's getting his ass sued. So in order to keep food on the table, he needs to find someone else to fight, so he doesn't end up losing all of his money. That's when he finds out that Adonis Creed has just won his first career match, and of course, with that last name, him and his coach have this crazy idea. So they fly to the US to meet Adonis and Rocky, and they're all like, I like money, and you like money. How about we get our fights together and we all make a lot of money? What do you say? Also, one thing that is required is that Adonis needs to use the Creed name, or else there's no deal. And Rocky's all like, alright, sure. And they start to get ready for the big fight. Before they start training though, Adonis goes to see his girl's concert. And oh yeah, they official now. They got freaky after he got his first career win, so they together now. Anyway, he goes to meet up with her, and this guy comes up to them and asks Adonis for a pic so they can post it to the gram. I swear, people will do anything for clout, bro. I guarantee you this man knew nothing about Adonis until he got that win. Now I would explain this scene, but come on, we've all seen the edit, so I'm going to speed through this a little. So the guy we all know calls him Baby Creed, and he's like, nah fam, don't call me that. This guy continues to be a dick and says that he's going to be sitting next to his pop if he keeps mouthing off. And even though it was a bit extreme in reaction, it was understandable, but Creed decks him and everyone starts boxing. This ruins the show, and Bianca and Creed take a break after that incident. Now, to the training montage. So we got both Adonis and Ricky training to their absolute hardest. Doing their drills and all that, it's like the ultimate battle between the US and the UK. But like with the US and UK rap, the US is winning every time. Nah, I'm messing though. The UK has some good rap too, I can't lie. And Adonis even does some running, and he calls the boys over and he's all like, come on gang, let's go. And then you have this cool ass scene with the entire neighborhood riding their vehicles like bikes and ATVs, and I'm sorry, why are they riding ATVs? What are y'all doing in Philly just casually having these in the neighborhood? I would understand more if they were outside the city, but they're smack dab in the city. It's strange, you know? But this doesn't take away from how cool the scene is. You got Adonis running and screaming, truly feeling it. Man's probably feel like Prime Goku running like that with his boys by his side. He starts punching the air too, like, I'm ready. I get it now. He is now unlocking his true potential, and I think him and Rocky both know that he's ready for the final fight. So we get to the final fight, and Adonis does his entrance, nothing too crazy, since he is the away fighter for this match. But now I want you to watch real closely here, and see what Ricky does for his entrance. So he starts off in complete darkness, and then all of a sudden you see this dude breathing fire. He breathes fire a couple times, and then there's a ton of smoke, and out of the smoke emerges the champion, Ricky Collin himself, looking clean as hell. We see the fit, man. This is way too much overpowering for a single fight against someone that has had only one career match. Like, Ricky, you're doing too much, man. Actually, nah, I'm just hating. This entrance was straight fire, and I would be lying if I said otherwise. So the fight starts, and Ricky's already getting hits off Creed, including one left hook to the jaw. And I'm starting to see Ricky's advantage here. Ricky got some inches on my man's here. He got those long ass arms too, so it's hard for Adonis to get in there. It's like fighting Dhalsim in Street Fighter 2. You ain't touching him, bro. Creed gets a good hit on him, and check out Ricky here. Nah, this dude just smiled. Now that is how you know this dude is crazy. You always know to never mess with some dude that starts smiling after taking a hit to the dome. Unfortunately, this is a league match though, so Adonis is stuck with this monster. Ricky continues to hit him with some more jabs and uppercuts, sending his ass back to the ground. And damn, Creed, this is like the last round with our boy Leo. First rounds are not your thing, my guy. Hopefully you can bounce back from this. He gets back and Ricky starts running like, nah, what is the rush, my guy? Again, this guy is crazy. He wants all the smoke. He gets a few more jabs into Adonis, and that is the end of the first round. Round 2 starts, and like round 1, Ricky is still pummeling into my man's here. But then Adonis finally gets this clutch right hook on Ricky. Nah, alright, Creed, that's what I'm talking about. They continue to trade blows, and that marks the end of the second round. And they start yelling in each other's faces like, how you like that, huh? Like that pretty scar I put on your face? So this goes on for a minute, or 5 rounds should I say. Definitely a lot longer than they thought he would last, and we were at the 5th round. Creed is still hanging in there with Ricky, weaving and dodging, getting some good hits off Ricky, while Ricky also hits him with a few of his own. And right when he's about to hit him again, Ricky nails him with this brutal shot to the jaw. And just like that, Adonis is out like a light. He's all sprawled out on the floor. It's a terrible sight to see. He got hit so hard his life started flashing before his eyes. He almost went to the light probably. But thankfully he snapped out of it and was able to get back up. Once he gets up, Ricky continues to pull his ass and then the round ends. Now Adonis had a pretty bad 5th round. So bad that his eye decided to close up shop. And he got this dude all like, how many fingers am I holding up? And like, dog, there is no way he could see out of that thing. His eye is so swollen up, it looks like there was no eye there to begin with. It's just awful. He's able to go on though and continue the fight. And just like that, a few more rounds of this match just fly by. So we get to the final round, which is, the 12th round? You tell me these dudes were trading blows to the head for 12 rounds? I'm amazed these guys can still speak coherent sentences trading that much CTE like each other, like damn. But anyway, with this last round, I think Adonis finally locked in because he starts going crazy on Ricky. He hits him with the classic left-right and he gets him gut punches in there. Then he gets him in the corner and starts wailing on him. Like finally, we are seeing some real action here. He dodges the attack from Ricky, and just like that, he finally sends Ricky to the ground. Ricky is down, but not out, because unfortunately he's able to get up just in time for the 12th and final round to end. And now what Adonis did was historic for him, because not only did he survive 12 rounds with the greatest pound-for-pound boxer in the world, but he was also the only one able to knock his ass on the ground. What a legend, honestly. I don't know what to say. He unfortunately didn't win, but that's okay, since he forever cemented his name, Creed, into the hearts of many, and thus he was able to continue the Creed legacy that his father once started. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Although this is my least favorite of the Creed trilogy, I still think that it's an excellent film, and I love how this movie kicks off the journey of Adonis Creed, and what comes after this movie just gets better and better. But anyway, if you stuck around for this long, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to do the other films, so if you want to see those, please hit the like and subscribe button so you'll be able to see them, and the other videos that I make. Until next time, goodbye.